Good morning, class. Please stand up for the opening prayer. Led by Mr. Christian Yes.
Bow down our heads and put ourselves in the holy presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. Do not bring us to test, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Good morning, Ma'am Miguel.
Good morning, class. So, how are you today? Please stand up. How are you today?
Very good.
Are you stressed about already? Yeah, I feel you guys. But our life must go on because there's a beautiful future waiting for us ahead. So, is there someone can predict your future here? Yes, Miss Fatima? Do you have an ability to predict your future?
I think yes.
Okay. So there's one person that can predict her not himself, but not his I. But there's one person that can predict himself, but not only the nation, but sorry. There's one person that he can predict himself and also the nation. But before that, please, can someone recall or give the brief recapitulation of our last discussion? Miss Samson?
Last meeting, we tackled about El Filibusterismo.
Thank you. And our topic for today is all about the chapter 10, the Philippines century, hence and other writings. So before that, let me ask you a question. What would be the situation of the Philippines within 100 years? Would it become Philippines remain a colony of Spain? Yes, Mr. Ramirez? Sakop pa rin ba tayo ng, or tutulad pa rin ba tayo ng Spain pagkatapos ng 100 taon? Or will it become independent? Or lalayan natin ang bansang Pilipinas sa kamay ng mga dayuhang Espanyol?
Just like what stated in the Philippine history, there are more heroes that have been sacrificed themselves in order for the Philippines to gain or to attain the independence and the freedom that we always wanted. So yeah, yes.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Muñez. Sorry, Mr. Muñez. So in this chapter, let's find it out. Introducing the works of our national hero, that is what will happen in our country within 100 years. That is o ano ang mangyayari sa bansang Pilipinas sa loob ng isang taon. It entitled Pilipinas dentro de 100 años, or Philippines a century hence. Ang Philippines a century hence was published in the newspaper La Solidaridad in Madrid, Spain on September 1889 to January 1890. It translated by Mr. Charles de Guichard in English language. It supplements the novels of Jose Rizal, The Noli Me Tangere, and El Filibusterismo. At may isa rin libro na kanyang nire-publish, ang Morga's History. So, who is Morga again? Miss Sheila?
I'm not really more aware of the sucesos de las Islas Filipinas and los territorios.
Yes, thank you, Miss Sheila. So, ang librong El Filibusterismo at Noli Me Tangere at ang Morga's History ay nagsisignify para balikan ng nakaraan, tindahan ng kasalukuyan, at lipan ang hinaharap. This essay talks about the production of Dr. Jose Rizal, our country Philippines sa loob ng 100 taon. where it has different stories and issues. Ang Pilipinas sa century hence, or ang Philippines sa century hence, ay binasa ni Rizal batay sa propesiya ni Fyodor Jabor, na isang German traveler. Si Fyodor Jabor stayed in the Philippines in a few months noong 1860 and wrote his observation in our country. And he published it and titled it Travels in the Philippines. Stated in the book ang sa kasalukuyang kondisyon ng Pilipinas at ibinasa ang kanyang propesiya patungkol sa ating bansa. Inulaan niya dito ang pagbagsak ng kolonisasyon ng Spain at ang pagpasok ng mga daigdig ng mga Amerikano. This book is one of the books that Rizal always reads when he was at a very young age. At ito ang nagpamulat sa kanyang isipan ng gumawa ng isang pulisiya patungkol sa paghahanda ng mga kabayan o kababayan, industrial man at commercial competition. And there was one time that Jabor and Rizal meets in Berlin, the capital city of Germany, at diniskusyonan kung ano ba talagang nangyari sa bansang Pilipinas sa loob ng 100 taon. And also, because of the works of Rizal, particularly in writings, he was the voice of our kababayan na upang maghangad ng kasarinlan at kalayaan mula sa mga pang-aping dayuhang Espanyol. Ang Philippines a century hence, this essay starts with an analysis of the causes of the miseries of the Filipinos. One of the causes identified in this article was Spain's implementation of their military policies. In the first part of Rizal's essay, it gives an overview kung ano ba ang dahilan ng paghihirap ng mga Pilipino. And one of the causes na kanyang na-mention ay ang Spain's implementation of their military policies. Napilitan ng mga Pilipino noon, particularly yung mga kalalakihan, na sumali sa hukbong militar or Spanish Army. And eventually, nabawasan yung populasyon dahil we can't deny the fact na kung mayroong war, mayroon talagang mamatay, right? Yes. So, since ang mga haligi ng tahanan o ang mga kalalakihan ay nasa army na o nasa kamay na ng mga dayuhang Amerikano ay may Spanish, naiwan yung kanilang pamilya, pati na rin yung mga lupang kanilang dapat sinasakan. Napabayaan na nila lahat yun. So therefore, all phases of the life of Filipino were retarded or nabawasan. And next is the second cause of their misery was the deterioration and disappearance of indigenous culture. Diba, sakit sa part na to kung anong tanong ka na bitaw kulihan ta? It is really hard that in our part that some of our culture and traditions are abolished and replaced, right? According to Rizal, when we were colonized by the Spaniards, yung ways of living natin ng mga early Filipinos are changed at kung hindi man nagbago, it totally vanished. And of course, we are colonized by the Spaniards. Siyempre, they implemented their culture, their tradition, and even their ways of living in the Philippines. So, ramdam pa rin natin up until now ang presence and influence ng mga dayuhang Spaniards. For example, the words that we use like guapo, guapa, kutsara, tinidor, kutsilyo, those words are not from the Philippines. Those words came from yes. That was originally from the Spaniards. Another thing there is a Filipino that their surname or another thing there's a Filipino that their surnames or ang mga apelyido nila ay tunog Espanyol. Right? surnames. And next is the Vegas legacy ng Spain sa ating bansa. Of course, yung pagkakaroon natin at dadala nila ng relihiyon ng Christianity. Of course, kasi yung mga panahon noon ay ng mga tao noon, like Filipino natives, wala silang relihiyon, right? Mga pagan pa sila, kung ano pa ang kanilang mga sinasamba, like bato, hangin, puno, at iba pa. So, let me ask you a question. What then had made the people realize their sad situation under Spanish rule? Kung sa ilang pili sa mga Pilipino sa una, sa pagduma sa mga Spanyol. Yes? Mr. Stanson? Kung sa ilang pili sa mga tao sa una, sa pagduma sa mga Spanyol. What had then made the people realize their situation under Spanish rule? Okay, you have a point. Here is also the racial discrimination. Why? You know, the Filipinos before, they are aware that they were distinct people. Parang na-realize sila na, wait lang, tama na, parang hindi na tama to. Yung mga implementan yung polisiya ay parang hindi na nakakaayos. And for the first time, they come to realize that the colonial policies and its conditions could no longer condone or hindi na katanggap-tanggap. So it parang it's a wake-up call na for them. So let's jump to the production of Dr. Rizal. In the first production of Dr. Rizal, in 1889, he penned the essay that Philippines a century hence. And this thought-provoking piece, Rizal offered his insight and predictions about the future of the Philippines. Now, more than a century later, it is worth examining whether his predictions have proven accurate and relevant in the context of contemporary Philippine society. In his first prediction was the social political landscape. Rizal predicted that the Philippines would eventually achieve Philippines independence and become sovereign nation, or held to possess a supreme political power. His vision of united and free Philippines came to fruition on July 12, 1898, when the country declared the independence from Spanish rule. However, he also warned against the dangers of internal conflicts and division which continue to challenge the nation's unity and political stability. The next production is the economic progress and industrialization. In this essay, Rizal envisioned the Philippines that would undergo significant economic progress and industrialization. While the Philippines has experienced economic growth over the years, it also faces challenges and in bridging the gap between the rich and the poor. Like, di ba, karon ang mga tao is kung datos ka, high ang pagtanaw nimo. Kung pobre ka, down sa pagtanaw nimo. Yes. Rizal's emphasis on the importance of education and entrepreneurship remains relevant as the country seeks sustainable economic development. Okay, the third one that was the cultural identity Resolve call for cultural preservation remains relevant as the nation's grapples or a hand-to-hand struggles impact of the globalization and preservation of its distinct cultural heritage. The next one is the global relations and diplomacy. Resolve foresaw the importance of establishing positive relationships with other nations free from the colonial influence. Like for example, di Duterte, right? Muna yung buhat nato para mura bitaw natay peace. Today, the Philippines engages in international diplomacy and global partnership, just like what I do. However, challenges in navigating geopolitical dynamics, particularly concerning territorial disputes and regional cooperation. The next one is education and social reforms. Results stress the significance of education and social reforms in the country's progress. This call for accessible education and the elimination of social injustice remains a vital aspect of Philippines' development. While strides have been made in education and social reforms, much work remains to address poverty, inequality, and social disparities. Environmental concerns. Resolve emphasizes the environmental concerns, whereas expresses concern about the environmental degradation and the need for sustainable practices. Today, the Philippines faces environmental challenges such as deforestation, pollution, and climate change, which as nakapila nato like uwan dyan, baha. Kung init sa kaayo, like pagpas sa ako at ang bayo, right? So results advocacy for environmental awareness and conservation remains relevant as the nation seeks to safeguard in our natural resources. So in conclusion to that, the results say the Philippines a century hence offer a profound reflection on the Philippines' past, present, and the future. While some of these productions have come to conclusion, others remain aspirational goals that require continued effort and dedication. Results and vision of an independent, prosperous, and culturally proud Philippines has indeed guided and the nation's aspirations. As Filipinos commemorates its legacy, it is essential to draw inspiration from Rizal's principle and idea. His call for unity, education, cultural preservation, and social justice remains relevant in the Philippines' ongoing journey towards progress and nation building. By embracing Rizal's insights and embracing his vision, Filipinos can move forward with purpose and determination, fulfilling the dreams he once envisioned for the loved country. So, before I will end my discussion, let me share you Rizal's saying. It says that on this battlefield, man has no better weapon than his intelligence, no other force but his heart. Can someone give his or her idea about this? On this battlefield, man has no better weapon than his intelligence, no other force but his heart.
Okay, so my point of explanation for that is that dili tanan nga magamit dili tanan so magamit og lahas. So we need to also use our heart or our mind for us to win everything, every situation without using any weapon, without using any power to control everyone. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Juby. Please give a hand for Juby. And this essence results message is to develop your intellect to navigate life challenges and also harness your emotions to drive positive change. Results highlight the importance of patriotism, love for one's country and fellow humans, and standing up for justice. And that will be all. Thank you.
So good morning everyone. So let's continue the part 3 of results essay about the awakening of Filipino national consciousness. Rizal predicts the rise of Filipino national consciousness. He explained how education exposure to global ideas and increased communication will empower Filipinos to recognize their rights and fight for them. He foresays that these changes will lead to unified demand for independence. So, Part 3 result highlights the transformative power of education and communication in awakening a nation's consciousness. He argues that as Filipinos gain knowledge and awareness for their rights, they will become more determined to demand for their freedom and equality. Rizal also stressed that the Filipino people's growing frustration with colonial oppression will further fuel their desire for independence. This part, Rizal believed the importance of education as a tool for liberation. So, question. How does Rizal believe education contributes to the awakening of Filipino nationalism? So, Ms. Nahulga? How does Rizal believe education contributes to the awakening of Filipino nationalism?
I think Rizal believe that education helps in awakening the Filipino national consciousness in a way that it gives them
So education plays a bigger role in making the Filipino, in awakening the Filipinos' national consciousness in a way that it helps them know what are the things that the Spanish has been doing. So that they are abusing the Filipino, and because of education, Filipinos already have the knowledge that they know that the Spanish were already abusing their so thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Nunez. So, let's move on to the part 4 of the result essay about the vision of a free and progressive Philippines. So, Rizal envisioned a future where Philippines is free and prosperous. He believed that if Spain implements reforms and treats Filipinos as equals, the Philippines can remain a loyal colony. However, he asserts that if oppression continues, independence is inevitable. In part 4, Rizal concludes with an optimistic outlook for the Philippines. He believes that Filipinos are capable for self-governance and that the country has the potential to become prosperous nation. He advocates for peaceful reform, arguing that Spain can maintain the Philippines if it provides justice, equality, and freedom to its people. However, Rizal also warns that Spain's refusal for reforms will lead to revolution and independence. So, this part encapsulates Rizal's hope for a brighter future for his commitment for the peaceful reforms. So, question again. What is Rizal's ultimate hope for the future of the Philippines? So, Ms. Rama?
Education enlightens the Filipinos.
No, what is Rizal's ultimate hope for the future of the Philippines?
Results ultimate hope for the future of the Philippines is the youth. For the youth because we can still find the
Okay, so Rizal's ultimate hope for the future of the Philippines is the prosperous and free Philippines, where Filipinos can thrive with dignity and equality. So, the overall message for Rizal is saying the Philippines as center hand. Rizal is saying as a profound critic of colonial rule and call for reforms. He warned the consequences of continuous oppression and highlighted the importance of education, freedom, and justice in shaping a nation's destiny. Through this work, Rizal demonstrates his deep understanding of the challenges faced by the Philippines and his vision for a future, for a better future. That's all. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. So now let's proceed to the last topic of chapter 10, which is mga kagalagahan sa Malolos. So, or in English is to the young women of Malolos. So, it is the letter or an essay written by Dr. Jose Rizal for the para sa mga kagalagahan sa Malolos, or in English to the young women of Malolos. So in this topic, we will discover, or we will know what is the contribution of the young women of Malolos, and why did Rizal wrote a letter or an essay para sa mga kagalagahan sa Malolos. But before we start, I have a question. So I have here the list of your family names. So, if matawag ko na ho, please stand up. Yes, Albert Gonzago. So the question is, why do you think Rizal wrote a letter to the young women of Malolos? Why do you think Rizal wrote a letter to the young women of Malolos? So, manong magsukat man ang letter si Rizal sa young women sa Malolos?
For me, I think it is a message or a call for an action, also empowerment, I think.
Yes, so thank you so much. So, now that before we dig deeper sa mga kadalahan sa Malolos, let's start with on December 12, 1888. So, a group of 20 women petitioned Governor General Rayler for permission to open a night school so that they may study Spanish under Teodoro Sandico. So, 20 women of Malolos ay 20 women. Lingkuan na
Koko, Jungson, and Uy Tanggoy. So, model ang mga family names. And then, sa ang kanang petition na mag-open o kanang 9 class is kanang of the object. So, unfortunately, Father Felipe Garcia objected, resulting into the turning down of the petition by the Governor General. So, the object na Father Felipe, it is because katong ilang request is something na kanang pinagbawal or kanang unimaginable bitaw. It is because during that time, so during the Spanish time, education is usually para sa laki, so mga kasagaran ng first na is laki ra bitaw kay women so women are seen as nasa bahay lang or kanang hindi na sila dito kanang education. Then education during Spanish period, ang education for women is more kanang privilege. So kato mga hayahay or sa mga like nasa middle class, mo din kasagaran maka-eskwela sa mga women during Spanish time. Then ang education for boys at sa Spanish time is more on rights, jobs, rights sa mga laki na maka-eskwela. But this 20 women, diba, kinaunan nga, petition nila is the object man. But ang wag na po sila ni-surrender, so nipadayon na po sila, kaya gusto lang sila na maka-learn sa Spanish language. So, this young women courageously sustained their agitation for the establishment of the school. So, sa ikaduha nga petition nila is they triumphed and granted a permission to their project on the condition that Señorita Guadalupe Reyes should be their teacher. So, granted sila ang permission na si Señorita Guadalupe Reyes ang ilang teacher. So, now, the connection between Rizal wrote a letter sa mga kadalagahan sa Malolos. So, ang gibuhat ni Marcelo H. Del Pilar to praise these young women for their bravery and courage. So, para ma-praise ang mga kadalagahan sa Malolos sa ilang bravery na ilang gibuhat, he requested to Rizal. So Marcelo H. Del Pilar So Marcelo H. Del Pilar requested Rizal to write a letter, which is during another time, si Rizal is naapa sa London. Then, the letter is to write a letter commending the young women for their extraordinary courage. So mo ito pag-ipon ni Rizal na sa kanang sa kanang mga kadalagahan sa Malolos, mo ito nalipay si Rizal. He was happy and kanang mo ito kanang wala siya kadalagahan o kanang kanang letter para sa mga kadalagahan sa Malolos. So then next is unsay sud sa kanang letter na gisuwat sa para sa mga kadalagahan sa Malolos. So first is the rejection of the spiritual authority of the friars. So I have here an envelope and I will call one student to read what is about the first the rejection of the spiritual authority to the friars. Yes, Miss Ibay. So please open the envelope and rejection of the spiritual authority of the friars. Rizal believed that the friars held too much power over the Filipino people, especially in spiritual matters. They used their position to control and manipulate which slanted the growth and freedom of the people. In his letter, Rizal encourages Filipinos to reject this and do authority and instead trust in their own spiritual beliefs and judgments. He believed that the true spiritual growth should come from within, not from outside people.
Okay, so thank you so much for reading now. Let me call one student to para mag-umpisa ng understanding on what Miss Ibay said or read. So yes, Mr. Muñez. So what is your understanding on what Miss Ibay said?
My own understanding in the rejection of the spiritual authority of the friars is that Rizal made the Filipinos be aware that the friars the friars have been abusing their power and authority to make Filipinos living in hell. Yeah, because they have been controlled and been manipulated with too much kasamaan sa mga friars. So that's why Rizal wrote a letter to encourage the Filipinos na they have to believe in their own spiritual they have to believe to their spiritual beliefs and judgments.
Okay, so thank you so much for sharing your ideas. The first one is Rizal wanted Filipinos to reject the power of the friars and trust their own spiritual beliefs. So, more about some rejection of the spiritual authority to the friars. So next is we have defense of private judgment. So, okay, so the second one is defense of the private judgment. Yes. So yes, Miss Rama, please read number 2. Read
So, defense of private judgment. Rizal strongly advocated for the right to think for oneself. He emphasized that women in particular should not be swayed by the opinions of others, especially not by oppressive forces of the friars. Each person has the right to form their own opinions and make decisions based on their conscience. Rizal believed that the ability to use one's own judgment was essential for personal freedom and progress.
Okay, so thank you so much for reading. Now, can you give me your understanding of what Miss Rama said? Read. So yes, Mr. Espanto. What is your understanding of what Miss Rama read?
One, in my own opinion, is we should not kita ko sa mga opinion sa uban din. Kita ko sa opinion sa uban. And then, each person has the right to form their own opinions about sa mga hindi lang kung sa uban nga magsubi about that. Sabi na sa tuwang own nga decisions and
Okay, so thank you so much for sharing your idea, Mr. Espanto. So now, the second, this what the result essay is, he believes that everyone, especially women, should think for themselves and make their own decisions. So, di kita magsarig sa, like for example, sa mga, di kita magsarig sa kung saan ka nagdidiktar or demandar sa kanang priors na to. Instead, we should make our own decision. So now, let's proceed to the third one. 3 points. Nagustuhan ni Rizal sa essay. So, third one is qualities Filipino mothers need to possess. So, please read number 3. Yes, Ariola. Okay, please read number 3.
Considering them as a foundation of society, we believe they should possess qualities like strength, wisdom, compassion, and moral integrity. Mothers were seen as role models for their children, and they played an essential part in shaping future generations. According to Rizal, mothers needed to be dedicated to their children's education and well-being, ensuring they grew up to be responsible and educated individuals who can contribute positively to society.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ms. Ariola, for reading. So please give me your understanding. Yes, Ms. Kao.
As a Filipino mothers, there are the qualities that they possess, and Rizal believes that the qualities are like strength, wisdom, compassion, and moral integrity. And as a Filipino mother, it should be seen as models for all the women.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ms. Kao, for sharing your understanding. So now, the third key point in the essay of Rizal, the qualities Filipino mothers need to possess is, Rizal thought Filipino mothers should be strong, wise, and moral to guide their children. So now, we see our mother as our role model. So kung buutan at mama, of course, kita buutan sa no? Do you agree with that? Okay, so well, next is we have the duties and responsibilities of Filipino mothers to their children. So please read number 4. Yes, Miss Ingrid.
Duties and responsibilities of Filipino mothers to their children. Self-Seller emphasizes that Filipino mothers had a great responsibility in raising their children. It was not just about providing food and shelter, but also teaching them important values such as patriotism, respect, and discipline. Mothers were expected to be instilled a love of learning and a sense of duty to the nation. By doing so, they could help shape their children into future leaders and active citizens who would one day help out the positive change in the community.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ms. Ingrid, for reading. So let me call Yes, Mr. Saragana. Can you give me your understanding of what Ms.
mold their child's character since childhood so that because as we all know that the youth is the hope ang pag-asa ng bayan. So it is the best thing to do to mold the youth or the children to be a better person.
Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Saralena. So the fourth keynote is, he said that mothers should teach their children important values like respect, love for the country, and discipline. So let's proceed to number 5. The duties and responsibilities of a wife to her husband. So please read number 5. Yes, Miss Buligao, please read number 5.
Duties and responsibilities of the wife in her husband. Rizal also spoke about the important role of wives in a marriage. He encouraged the women to be supportive of their husband, not only in the household but also in their personal and professional goals. A wife should work with her husband to build a harmonious and loving home. Both partners should respect each other, share responsibilities, and work for the common good of the family. Results of marriage is a partnership where both parties contribute to each other's growth and happiness.
Okay, so thank you so much, Miss Buligao, for reading. So the number 5 is, Rizal believed that wives should support their husbands and share responsibilities to make their home happy and strong. So next, let's proceed to the last one. Keynote. The counsel to young women on their choice of a lifetime partner. So number 6 is, he advised, or Rizal advised young women to choose a life partner who has good character and shares their values, not just someone with money or status. So Rizal na, hindi lang kapamili o ganang laki nga, itsuraan na na, instead, kung kato nga, para, so, last time today, so, there's a trivia about it, sa mga kadalagahan sa Malolos. So, the trivia is that, did you know that, because of bitaw mga tumibuhat sa mga kadalagahan sa Malolos is, na ay nahimo ang Asosasyon Feminista Filipina on June 1905. So, it is a mother group of women empowerment of country. Then it is the feminist movement in the Philippines. So, ang Asosasyon Feminista Filipina is, during tungod ani is, napaglaban ng mga kababaihan na sila yung rights na bubutar. Okay, because during Spanish time, ang katulad ng mga butar is ang mga laki. So, it is, because sa gibuhat sa mga kadalahan sa Malolos is, nanay ka ng rights ang mga women na bubutar. Then, also, ni-support po sila sa kikikil during revolution. So, mataas-taas sa kikikil. So, they gather funds, foods, blankets, and medicine. So, dili lang natapos sa kanabitaw katong ihagiguhan na once the Spanish na there's the Spanish language, but also through their participation in the Katipunan. So, that's all for my report.